I survived for over 100 days by building a real civilization in Minecraft using MineColonies mode. This mod allows you to construct magnificent buildings and welcome active citizens, miners, lumberjacks, builders, or even soldiers. Each contributes to the defense and growth of the city. Today I'm gonna tell you the story of a deserted plain that gradually evolves into a living, organized, and prosperous colony. So sit back and follow me on this adventure, where every decision will shape the future of an incredible colony. So, this is the new world in which I'm gonna build my colony, and I can't wait to explore and discover it. But I'm obviously gonna start at the beginning by breaking my first logs that I will use to build my first item, a magnificent crafting table. And I'll take the opportunity to build my first pickaxe that will allow me to collect my first stones. And without realizing it, I already come out with 50 stones, enough to build a whole collection of much better quality tools. I now have all stone tools, a crafting table, and a furnace. Now all I need is a little bit of food, and what better way than to find cheap and collect wool to make something to sleep in. I'm always impressed by how quickly the first day goes by when you start an adventure, and I think I have an excellent spawn because I can see in the distance what looks like a huge biome. Okay, let's not waste time because the sun has already set. I need to quickly craft a bed to sleep under the stars. And it looks like I found my first cave, in which I hope to find coal to cook my meat. No coal inside, but I take the iron. Perfect, I can see some coal over there in the distance. By the way, I hadn't planned to catching fire while fighting. I'm also gonna try to avoid dying to a creeper right from the start. Please give me some cooked food, and what a pleasure it is to eat. Now that I am full, I can use the 4 irons I collected, which will help me to build a shield and a magnificent iron pickaxe. That's enough to make me feel comfortable in the idea of exploring this first cavern, which contains mostly copper from what I can see. Hopefully not just copper, iron too. And how many monsters are there in this cave? I have to admit that I'm quite satisfied with this first exploration. I already have some basic resources for construction that will be useful to me. I also killed a lot of monsters in the cave, which allows me to have a lot of monsters resources as well. And I also have 2 stacks of coal, 1 stack of iron, and a little bit of copper. And I think I'm gonna trick myself a little by crafting some iron armor. Well, I will collect my few items to quickly go exploring again. And then I like to quickly head back north because I think I saw a bottle here. Actually, I'm not crazy. It's nice and I hope it contains incredible treasures. First chest with, well, a treasure map, that's right on topic. And another chest with quite a bit of food. So, treasure, where is it you are hiding? My last treasure hunt was quite a while ago, so it should be around here, and now all is left to do is dig to find it. If I'm not mistaken, chests always appear in the center of the chunk. And what does it have in store for me? A nice treasure with many resources. While I am at it, I also spotted a portal ruin with some gold in the chest. Speaking of gold, I don't want to deprive myself by collecting this magnificent block. And that's it for the initial resource harvest. I think I have everything I need to start my colony, although I don't know the mod at all. The only thing I know is that I have to start by making a camp. From what I understand, there's one that shapes like a wagon, which can be easily crafted with chests. And there's a second one that shapes like a boat. I like the idea of making the wagon. I just need to gather a little bit of food so I can make the chests. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chests give me the wagon. And what happens if I click on my wagon? A large message pops up. Use these supplies to assemble a supply camp to serve as the foundation for your own colony. You shall find a salvaged stone hole block and build tool to lay the groundworks of the new colony. Founding a colony demands resilience. Beyond the basic necessities of shelter, sustenance and healing, lies the imperative to fortify against looming threats of piracy and barbarism. Yet, Should you endure these trials, potential for growth knows no bounds. From artisans to scholars, miners to alchemists, your settlement holds the promise of evolving into a self-sustaining bastion of prosperity and knowledge. Make sure to find a flat, open area large enough for the camp's layout to place it. There it is, I finally found the place where I'm gonna settle. Between you and me, I find it crazy. I explored many biomes and finally found myself next to the spawn. And I chose this place because the mod specifically stated that I had to find a flat and open area. And that's exactly what I have here. I even have small hills over there. They're large and not too stiff. I have to say that after building several bases on top of mountains in my previous survivals, I was a little fed up with having to go up and down them. Now I have to choose the architectural style of my colony. There are many styles and I have to choose carefully because beyond the architectural aspects, I also have to gather the resources needed to build the style in question, which is why I chose the medieval oak style. Honestly, the castle looks great and it suits me just fine because it says you have to be near a river and a forest, and it is exactly what I have here next to my base. I also have all the animals I need around me: chickens to the north, cows in the center, to the west there are sheep, cows again to the south, and to the east there are chicken, pigs and even horses. Oh baby cow, if that's not a sign, I don't know what it is. Well, now how do I set my camp in the middle of my fellow creatures? I just clicked on the camp and a schematic appeared. From what I can see, it consists of a trailer and a tent on the back. I can move it using the controls here on the right and even make it turn on itself. That's pretty cool. Down on the left I have a list of resources and it looks like it's mostly complete. So it looks like the first building is free. And if I press the green button, oh, it pops up. Welcome to MineColonies. Now that you have your supplies, what about finding a nice location to place your town center and start your colony? First of all, I'm curious to see what's in this camp. If I start with the tent, there's a crafting table, a bed and a barrel in the back. And in the barrel there's a little bit of paper, but most importantly a town center and a build tool. And if I go here to the back of the trailer, several barrels filled with quite a lot of resources. In the chest there are all the stone tools, but I won't need them. And I gathered all the resources that were in the other chests here. So there is quite a bit of food, bread, potatoes and carrots, but also some building blocks like wood, stone and cobblestone, and also some water. And the sight of all this food makes me think that building a field is not a bad idea. I'm gonna make some space next to my tent. Well, maybe I saw things a bit too big, but at least I was able to plant all the resources I have, as well as some sugarcane on the side. Looks great. So now I have a ton old block in my hand, and if I click on it, it looks like it's searching. Oh wait, I'm being attacked! Isn't that a witch? How did I manage to kill her without even losing a heart? Witches are not so strong after all. I have the impression that this block gives a list of town halls for each type of civilization. And if I click on the construction tool, it opens a menu with a lot of categories at the bottom, such as agriculture, decorations, education, military, and walls. And if I click on basics, I have several constructions that appear, including the town hall on the bottom left, a central administration for colony management. Stop, let me read it. And so if I click on it, I have two choices. Okay, looks like I have a large building that appears. I've moved it a little further away so I can see it as a whole, and now I'm confused because there are several levels on the left. And what if I click on level 2? The building evolves. Level 3 has a magnificent red roof. Level 4 has a lot more stone than before, and level 5 is huge with a nice tower. But let's talk about this architectural style. It's just too beautiful. I think I will only be able to build level 1, but on the other end, previewing level 5 is good. It shows how much space the building takes up, so that I can position it properly in the city. So if I look up a little, I can see that all the hills around me make a circle around this plate. I'm thinking it might be nice to have a central square just in front of the town hall with buildings around it. With that in mind, I shall place the town hall table here facing the lake, with an esplanade in front. Let's put it where I want it, and I think this place isn't bad at all. So if I go back to level 1, it doesn't change position, so I should be able to beat it now. Okay, so it didn't appear this time. I guess the next step is to open the book. A settlement appears in front of me and I have to sign it. I need to come up with a name for my city, and I'm thinking of calling it Bovidum. By signing this settlement, I found my colony, and I have what appears to be the main menu for managing the city. But before I look at the menu in more detail, I have my first 4 citizens who have already arrived: Kyler, Adeline, Murray, and Myler. There is also a boundary that has appeared all around my city center. I guess this represents the final size of the building. In any case, it doesn't stop my citizens from going out and looking around. They seem to be already living their lives. So if I continue exploring the menu, I have 3 options on the left here. The first one is construction, which seems to list all the material needed to build my town hall. And then I could have a map of the city. For that, I have to put a Minecraft map in the inventory of the build. It seems like buildings have inventories, as well as a menu to hire mercenaries to protect my city. However, it won't be free. Apparently, the next step is to create a flag for my colony, so I spent a lot of time designing it. I ended up finding a pattern that looks like this. It looks pretty medieval and I like the colors. I'll go with that. Then I have an information tab. It seems to be a journal since I have all the important information here, namely the spawns of my different citizens here. A permission tab here, but I'm the only one running the city. A tab on citizens with their overall happiness here on the left, and information directly about my citizens on the right. Then a statistics tab with the number of citizens here, the number of children, unemployed, and finally an alliance tab. And so if I click on my citizens, what happened? I have a menu that opens here with all the characteristics, their requests, their inventory, and their happiness. By the way, here we see that Myler is not so happy, and a family tree with the parents, partners, siblings, and children. That looks promising. And I also noticed that Myler here has a quest for me. I just spoke with Myler. He told me to build a builder's hut, and I just noticed that a huge boundary appeared around my base when I picked up my tool. I guess it must be the size of my city. And the problem is that I can't build it. The game tells me that I need to have the corresponding block in my inventory. Well, I just looked at the crafting list, and it is possible to build a block for the builder's hut. Great, now I have to place it. This time the building is highlighted in blue, and I can place it. And what's really cool is that I can see the 2 buildings in their final forms, one next to the other, very convenient for placing them. This layout suits me well. I need the buildings to be close enough in their final states, so that it creates narrow streets like those we had in the Middle Ages. This is already a construction site. Alright, I'm gonna go back and talk to Myler. Myler told me that I did the right thing by placing my builder's hut, and then gave me a quest log. Oh no, Mary got killed by the zombie. That's very sad. She won't even survive until episode 2. But on the other end, she has already been replaced by Juliana. Well, RIP Mary. And I have a new quest from Kyler. Kyler explains to me that I now have to click on the hut block to be able to assign a builder and give him the necessary resources. Come on, really? I already had 1 death last night. I don't want to get a 2nd death and I need to protect my colony. So let's see what it looks like. Okay, so I can already see that the assigned builder is Myler, and once again the list of resources that I need to build the building. So I asked Myler to start the building and he shows up right away. I can see in the chat that he tells me he has taken his position and he doesn't want to work. I'm gonna ask him why. He tells me he needs a shovel so that he can terraform the land. So I'm gonna give him mine, and he clearly knows how to put it to good use. He's performing everything for me. How satisfying it is to have someone building for me. And I guess it's time to go to bed since he stopped working, and I really need to get them some beds too. While Myler is working, I have a list of resources I'm gonna have to gather for him. Myler clearly shows me that he's not able to work without logs. Actually, neither do I, and I need to collect a stack of them. And now that I'm thinking about it, why am I breaking these logs? I did get a stack directly from the camp. Oh great, there are even 2 stacks. I quickly checked upon my chests and was able to gather almost all the resources. After all, I overall needed some blocks of dirt, stairs and slabs of cobblestone, a crafting table, and quite a few variations of oak wood. The blocks I'm missing are framed oak blocks, and when I click on them, I see I can craft them using a architect's cutter, and the craft is made with logs, stone slabs and some iron. So how does this cutter work? In this tool there are several groups on the top. For example, I can make roofs, pillars, lights and even timber frames. Then I have to specify the main material of the block at the bottom and the material of the frame at the top. And I get the 11 blocks I wanted. And I now have all the materials and can give them to Myler. Here is a gift for you. With all that you should be able to build building. And there he starts building. Myler has outdone himself. He has completed the first building of my civilization. However, I don't know what he's doing on the roof. He must be watching the sunset. So let's visit this first building right away. Well, there's the living room here with the building's block and the start of a staircase. Maybe there will be a cellar in the next improvement of the building. In any case, it looks nice and it's great to have the first building of my city. And I'm gonna tell Kyler about it right away. He congratulated me on this first achievement and gave me 32 cobblestone as a reward, and I see that I now have 2 more quests available, one by Myler and one by Kyler, who will get killed if I don't protect him. That's fine, Kyler is regenerating fast. I'm super curious to know what his quests are. The sun rises over Bovidom for a brand new day in the city. A city that now has 4 villagers, and 3 of them are chatting here, just in front of the town hall. Or at least the town hall block, because the building isn't built yet. So I have a choice between 2 quests, and I think I'll start with Myler because he's builder. So Myler asks me to bring him a scroll of resources. I don't know what it is, but I assume it can be crafted. Indeed, I'm gonna need 2 leathers and 6 sticks. Unfortunately, I don't have any leather in stock, but with all the cows around me, I should be able to find 1 or 2 that will accept to be transformed into a scroll. It might also be a good idea to make some pens. Let's see if there are any buildings that allow me to do it directly in MineColonies. And that's it, I have 4 leathers. Leathers, sticks, there you go. Let's now give this magnificent scroll to Myler. He gave me the scroll back and told me that I can activate it by clicking here on the block in the hut. From what I understand, this scroll will allow me to see the list of resources needed by Myler so he can build my building. By the way, I see that he still wants to talk to me. Myler would like to have a house to live in. Looks like he doesn't want to live in his builder's hut. And I see that Adeline also wants to talk to me, and she would also like a house to live in. I think it's clear I'm gonna have to build a house for them. By the way, is 1 house enough for all my inhabitants? While I'm at it, I'm also gonna talk to Kyler. He has a quest and it might also be related to his housing needs. I did well to talk to him. He told me exactly the same thing. He would like to have a roof over him, and he told me straight up that I can build a tavern to get several beds. It will also allow me to house my citizens at night and protect them from outside dangers. And to craft the associated block, I need a barrel with planks. So I'll take my building tool again. I think placing it here on the left of the town hall is a good idea, since it starts to mark out the central square. Level 1, build. However, it's right in the hill. The building is so deeply buried that I don't even know where the block is. I'll try to find it, so I can at least get the list of items I need to provide. Normally, the block should be at the top right. I am definitely having a hard time finding finding the tavern block. Yay, there it is! Build options, I need quite a few resources, but once again, these are pretty basics. I can see that Myler is getting the list of materials over there, and now if I look at my scroll, perfect, the resources appear, and Myler just started to terraform. That's good, and I'm taking the opportunity to give you my stock of tools, because I think you'll use them quickly. It's crazy, there's one working behind me, and in the meantime, the other 3 are watching. Anyway, I'm gonna go and gather the resources needed to build a tavern, but also those for the town hall. I think it could be smart to build the main building of the city, and I will start with wood. I need 250 logs for the buildings, and that's not counting the planks. Honestly, I'm gonna do a little favor. I'm going to go straight to crafting the tools I need out of iron. Otherwise, I will never make it. I think I replant the trees as I cut them down, because otherwise I'm gonna quickly run out of forests around my base. And look who's visiting me. There you go, get out of my city. And I'm gonna end up making a collection of banners. I can see that they're attacking me. I don't mind, but I hope they won't attack my citizens, because they don't have any shelter yet. Luckily, the tavern is under construction. My 2 iron axes got through, but it was worth it when I see the 9 stacks of woods I collected. On the other end, I can clearly see that I cut down a huge part of the forest. I'm really going to replant some trees now. Oh, rainbow! It looks like it's starting to grow right at the colony. I need to replant the trees I cut down, otherwise the resources will disappear. That should do the trick. And what a nice surprise to find the fields fully grown when I get back. Food, food, food. In my opinion, I will have to feed the entire population. And you go away, I don't want to see you around here. And without realizing it, I already have quite a bit of food. And I think putting some potatoes to cook isn't such a bad idea. So how is Myler doing with his terraforming? Wow, looks like it's almost over. That's nice, Myler, you made good progress. What is cool is that I will be able to directly get the dirt and the cobblestone he gathered from his inventory. Saving myself a mining session suits me well. By the way, I have 2 very strange objects in my hands. In red, that's an onion, and in white, a garlic. I have the impression that I can get them by breaking blocks around me. I have to ask a farmer to plant it for me. I will keep it nice and warm for now, and I will craft the items needed to build a tavern. Is it me, or is Myler keeping to dig deeper and deeper? Is he ever going to stop? Right, he tells me that he wants to get a house. Well, Myler, it's exactly what you're building now. So while he digs down to the center of the earth, I will be able to craft all the wood materials I need. And I now have 40 baked potatoes. Nice! A few crafts later, here I am with a nice stock of oak-based materials. I have a good amount of logs, planks, framed planks, stairs and slab. And I also crafted some fences. I also used logs to make oak wood, and in the top right you can see that I also have pressure plates, trapdoors and doors. The tavern is a big building, but I still crafted more than I need to make a stock and get ahead, especially for the town hall. And what is really cool about the scroll is that it tells me right away where I am with the materials. The blocks in black are the blocks that are already in Myler's inventory. The ones in green are those that are in my own inventory. I will have to give them to Myler later. And the ones in red are the blocks that I'm missing. Actually, I'm not missing much, and I should be able to find andesite in the cave. There you go, perfect. And that's good because there is also gravel, and I need that to make coarse dirt. Half gravel and half dirt make coarse dirt. Next, I'm crafting a shed to get some wool. I can't see any sheep around me, and I need 12 wools to make 4 beds. And that's it for the 4 beds. So I don't have much space left in my inventory, and now I only have 3 barrels left to craft, including brand new ones added by the mod. And the crafts are pretty simple. All I need to do here is make 1 column of planks with 2 columns of sticks, which gives me standing barrel. And now the same thing but horizontally to get laying barrel. And finally I will finish with classic barrels. And thanks to that I now have all the materials I need. And now all I have to do is give all of it to Miner, who is waiting in his hut because he doesn't have any material to build. So if I go to the hut block and I go to the category of required resources, I can press the little arrows here, which should gradually take the resources from my inventory and add it to Miner's inventory. Indeed, I only have now the surplus in my inventory. Everyone's off to bed and I suggest we watch Miner building the tavern in a time lapse. This tavern is really nice. From what I can see, there's a basement and a upper floor, and I will start the tour in the basement. It looks like this is the main room of the tavern. Adeline and Kyler are already making themselves at home. Is it just me or is something going on between them? Well, looks like I just got them out. So here on the left is a bar with quite a few barrels. What is great is that the citizens shouldn't get too thirsty, and it now looks like it's night time because they're all going upstairs to sleep. Oh, so cute, there's Myler snoring in his bed. And in the other room I have Adeline and Kyler sleeping together. Maybe they think I didn't see them, but I think it's official, I have my first couple in the colony. Well, I will let them sleep now. And now if I go back to the basement, I can see that 2 inhabitants just arrived. They seem to want to chat, and I'm curious to know what they have to say to me. Ashton tells me that he's not so fan of this place, but it is all he has fun for now, and he would be happy to join the civilization for 5 cakes. And there's a skeleton beating up the newcomers. Oh, and they're fighting back, that's cool. And oh my gosh, I would have been disgusted to lose my tavern right now. Well, this is a real mess here. There are new citizens everywhere. These characters are actually travelers from all around the world who are relaxing here, and they all say they would like to join my colony in exchange for resources. One of them, for example, asks for 35 redstones, and another one asks for 20 books. And I think that before recruiting new citizens, it could be a good idea to give work to those I already have. So I spoke with Adeline, and she congratulated me on building a tavern, and I realized that my citizens are starting to get hungry. It's true that I haven't fed them yet, but now I'm gonna ask Myler to build a town hall once I have collected all the necessary materials. And my 3 other citizens are starting to ask for professions because they're getting bored. But before building the profession buildings, I really think I should build a town hall. Actually, I did well collecting all the resources earlier. All I need is a campfire. I'll drop off all of the resources and let's go for another time lapse. I have some terrible news to tell you. I was on my way getting a shovel to terraform when suddenly a group of pillagers arrived. Myler was building and they appeared right on top of him. It's terrifying. Poor Myler was surrounded by 4 pillagers with crossbows, so he didn't survive, and he wasn't the only victim because Juliana also died. Honestly, it broke my heart. and I fought violently against the pillagers to avenge my 2 citizens. I'm really sad for Miner because I was starting to like him, so I took some time to meditate at the 2 graves and then it was time to move on. So I appointed Kyler as the new builder. I find it horrible to say, but Kyler was complaining about not having a job and now he has one. One man's misfortune is another man's gain. So what does the town hall look like? From the outside it looks nice and I'm curious to see the inside. There's a main room with a chest that then opens up to a second room that houses the town hall block. And there's a ladder that allows me to climb to the top of the tower and have a very nice view of the surroundings. And also of a new group of pillagers over there. This is not going well at all. I'm too afraid they will come back and kill the population. And isn't Kyler sleeping with Ren and Aidalan sleeping alone next room? But now let's get some sleep before there's another disaster. I'm gonna get rid of the pillagers that are roaming around the city. And there are 2 more down there. Just go away from my city. And while going through the different buildings, I saw some walls. Corner wall, gate, segment, tower. And what does the gate look like? So this is the level 1 gate. It looks a bit like a fence. And same for the wall, it's clearly a fence. And I have enough resources to build one. However, I don't have what it takes to surround my entire colony with walls. I'm gonna need way too many stacks of wood to build such a wall. And it's only level 1. I'm going to need a wall around the city, but I think it's a good idea to start by building a forester's hut. So I'm going to light up my entire city center with torches for now. Now let's remove the weeds from the central square and try a little pattern for the ground. Let's add some dirt and path around here, and that's it for the dirt path. It looks good and I'm quite happy with it. I'm definitely going to run out of gravel here, so let's go back to the cave where I should be able to find some. And I hope my villagers won't get killed. I will use torches to get all the gravel that I need. This gravel should allow me to make a huge part of the ground. I need steps so I can get to the town hall, and I wonder what it will look like to put wood there. Oh no, they're back again! Are you kidding me? They always come in groups of 4. They're not so strong but enough to kill my villagers. I'm wondering if building a wall would be enough to defend my city. In any case, I like the central square. It's a bit muddy, which is exactly what I was looking for. And I see here that I have a surprise guest joining me. Hello, traveling merchant. Tell me, what is it you have for sale? Well, very cheap things that cost a lot of money. Well, as usual. Anyway, I'll let you visit the colony and meet the citizens. And if you want, you can go to the tavern. It's all well and good, but I like to continue expanding my colony, and buildings cost a lot of wood. Fortunately, in the basic buildings, it's possible to build a forester's hut here. And that's great because I currently have 3 citizens who are just waiting to work. And here is the craft to make the forester's hut. I just hope it doesn't take too much wood to build it, because right now I don't have many resources. I'm a little bit informed about the hut, and the forester can only go and collect wood within a radius of 150 blocks from the hut. I think the best idea is to go and get the hut here on the hill. Besides, I don't even know if it's possible to build a building outside the village boundaries. In my opinion, if my colony has borders, it is not for nothing. And the closest location to the forest here is none other than the corner here of the border. I'm gonna preview its final appearance at level 5 so that I can put it inside the boundary. I really like its appearance at level 5. I've also noticed that the roof is black and not red like the other buildings I've built so far. Maybe since it is a resource building that is not intended to be inside the city, but rather out of the way. In any case, I can still push it a little on the right, and the location is perfect. And now I have to do now is ask Kyler to build it for me. In terms of materials, it is simple. Overall, I don't need anything except dirt. Well, go ahead and build the building. Since the sun is setting, I think the construction will start tomorrow. Oh no, he still decided to go in the middle of the night? Well, I think he will turn back soon. What was I saying? It's night. Well, he went all by himself to build the building over there. I just hope he doesn't get attacked. So, in terms of resources, I already have everything I need. I only need to give him 3 logs. Well, looks like he has a problem. Well, he doesn't have a shovel. I really don't have any more logs. I'll have to cut down a tree to get logs. While I'm at it, I will take the opportunity to craft more shovels and I'll give them to Kyler right away. 3 logs and 14 fences for you. In the meantime, I'm going to harvest my fields once more. It will give me a nice stock of food so that I can feed my villagers, because I can't forget to feed them. Well, my food chest is starting to fill up nicely. While it's still building, I'm thinking of planting trees all around here to make a forest. I think that from a roleplay perspective, it is nicer to have a forest close to a forester's hut, so that he won't have to go far to get wood, and it will be more productive. But I see there are caves here, and I hope he doesn't venture too close to them. Otherwise, he might run into monsters and die, and I don't want that. Well, Kyler congratulates me on the construction of this building. He suggests to plant trees all around the hut to make sure he has all the tools he needs to work. And it looks like my new forester is arriving, and the poor guy complains about not having an axe. I'll give him 5 right away so that he will be quiet for a time, and he's still not happy. What is it you need now? He needs a hoe. Same, I will give him several at once. Well, you should have everything you need to work now. Perfect, he goes straight to go cutting down the first trees. And I'm curious to see if he will replant the tree. And he replanted it. Excellent. It means he's going to maintain the forest as it cuts it down. To me, it means no need to go back after him to replant trees. And oh no, he's getting attacked by a zombie. And he's only got half his health left. It's too dangerous around here. I'm going to close all the openings that lead to the cave here. It's really important to me that he can work safely. And by the way, I don't even know how he's going to cut down this tree. So now if I look at the forester's hut interface, I can give him several instructions, like to replant the trees, but it's already activated, or only cut the trees within a certain area. Next, here is a list of everything he's replanting. Okay, I quickly light up the area around here, and I will let him work while I head back to the village. So let's see who is in the tavern now. There's Adeline, who is already complaining about not having a job, and she advises me to build a farm so I can feed my citizens. And I also talked to Ren, who gave me a quest in which I have to place 16 torches so that I can light up my colony and make it less vulnerable to monsters. So I'm going to place a few of them around the buildings. She's very happy and rewards me by giving me something, but I don't know what she gave me because my inventory is a mess. And now here is Weasley, who offers me a new quest in which I have to kill 10 zombies. My citizens don't feel safe and would like me to do some cleaning. But before, I'm going to kill this skeleton who is attacking Weasley. Whoa, I had another close call. What is nice is that the skeleton gave me a bag when it died, and it contains sacred scrolls of regeneration that I can give to my citizens. Well, that's good to know. I'm not kidding about security anymore. I'm gonna place torches everywhere. Alright, let's go. I'm gonna kill 10 zombies to be able to complete the quest. And 1 out of 2. The caves are huge. There are a lot of creepers and spiders, but I'm having trouble finding any zombies. But I'm thinking about it. I could wait until nightfall to kill them directly outside. So the sun is setting and there you have it. Yes, I know I don't have my shield and it makes 6 zombies, 7, 8, 9, and here is the 10th. I'm done with zombies. I can go to bed. And then I will tell Weasley I finished my zombie quest. I am a little disappointed. The reward was a leather armor. Now, to make a farm, I will need the associated block that can be crafted this way. And the question is where to build it. Let's see what the building looks like. Still in its final version, of course, so that I can place it properly. It's huge and I love the style. There is a large warehouse on the left, and on my right a windmill with a field, and I decided where I will place the farm. It will be here on the edge of the colony, and I will explain why. Here I have the main square of the city with my first buildings located around it. In front I would like to make a street that will allow me to get here, and there an entrance gate. Basically this boundary here, invisible so far, will distinguish everything that is city on this side and everything that is about resources on the other side. Now I imagine a path here that goes on the left to reach the forester's hut, and another one here on the right so that I can walk next to the wall. It could even go directly to the farm, and I'll add some fields later. I think of buildings developing on different levels to create relief. It would be nice in terms of decoration. And out there I'm thinking of a castle, but I'm clearly not there yet. It's more of a late game, I think, but I'm already thinking about it so that I can place my buildings correctly right away. And look at this place. The construction site barriers are falling apart. Indeed, I'm gonna have to fill all that in. Okay, let's fill it. I will give Kyler the resources in it, and there we go for a brand new time lapse. Enjoy watching. And here is the 5th building of the colony. I can see that it is at level 1, because for now the warehouse is made of planks and the mill doesn't look very good, but the layout is still nice, especially with this nice scarecrow, which wasn't hard to craft. I just needed a hay bale with some leather, so Idleen took on the role of farmer for the colony, and while talking to her she asked me to plant fields so that she could work. Luckily for her, I have enough to make a field with onions, garlic, wheat seeds and potatoes. This whole thing is crazy. Since when do I have to work instead of my citizens? Honestly, I've seen it all. In the farm interface, I see that there is only one field here that can be used. I guess it is this field here. So how do I interact with it? This scarecrow looks suspicious. Yep, I could click on it. So the field is spread over 5 blocks all over it. And then I can choose seeds on the left. I have a whole bunch of vegetables here that I can choose from, and let's start with wheat. So an icon has appeared above Ideline's head. It seems to be working, and she's asking me for some hoes to work with, which I will happily give her, and she doesn't seem to want to work. Maybe I have to be the one to plant the wheat. And what happens if I give her seeds? Nothing at all. I get it, I'm planting. Idling, look at this work. I planted everything for you. You better get to work once I grow some wheat to test. It seems she doesn't want to work, even with the wheat matured, and I don't really know why for now. I'll wait and see if she gets to work later. And now I can't wait to talk to Weasley to tell him that I built the farm, and he just congratulated me on building the farm. And while I'm passing by, I'm curious. He has already harvested more than 5 stacks. This is going to change my life. I now have 2 possible quests. On the one hand, I am asked to build a watchtower to protect the population, and on the other hand, Kyler suggests that I build a mine. And since I only have one unemployed person left, I'm gonna choose to build a mine first. And it looks like Adeline has gotten to work. That's good. Let's now do the mine operation, construction tool, a pickaxe, some planks, and it should be perfect. And from a roleplay perspective, I think it is nice to place the mine over here at the rocky area. That way I will have my 3 resources buildings over there, which makes sense to me. Level 1 and build, and once again the materials are pretty basic to get. This time I mainly need cobblestone, and it shouldn't take too long to get all. So, how does this mine look? Honestly, it took Kyler almost 1 hour to build it. It was longer than I thought. Anyway, let's go visit this. My new miner is wearing a mask, and it looks like she also has a problem. So what's wrong with you? Oh, she doesn't have a pickaxe. And I have one for you. It is already a good start. And I also took the opportunity to talk to Kyler, who gave me some ladders and explained to me that my miner will first dig to a certain layer before creating horizontal gallery. Well, I hope she will find interesting resources like iron, and I will give her a lot of pickaxes just in case. And now in the mine interface, I can choose the blocks to fill the holes. Cobblestone is perfect. And then she's going to go down to layer -100, so basically up to bedrock. And there's also a tab where I can assign a god. I'll see about that later. And that's it for the mine. I'll let you get to work. Don't hesitate to tell me if you need anything. And I'm gonna place some torches all around my new buildings. Oh no, are you kidding me? She died just as she started to work. Looks like the crossbow is enchanted and I'm out of shields. Come on. Well, welcome to Naomi in this very secure mine. And here is your colleague's little inheritance. Don't ask me where she went, she just quit. Don't worry. And by the way, it's really dark down here. Here are some torches to light things up. And I'm already happy with the 3 resources buildings on my right and the city center here on my left, as well as the citizens walking around. And it might be a good idea to sort through my chests a little. I'm gonna place some barrels here next to my tent. A first barrel of wood, a second one of stone and gravel, a third with dirt and other resources, a fourth with my few riches, another one with monsters resources, and the last one with the rest. I can't believe it, I already have 8 villagers banners, and it looks like I'm gonna get another one. And I forgot to bring a shield, but I don't have time to make one. They're gonna assassinate Adeline. Come and fight me. And the chief got killed by his buddies. There you go. And another one. I swear I'm going to make a room in a building with all the banners I gathered. Who knows, maybe it will discourage them from attacking me. And then after talking to all my villagers, the same speech comes back. They don't feel safe. In other words, they would like gods to protect them. As the great leader that I am, I'm gonna start by checking if everything's fine for my citizens. I am told that I have reached my limit of 4 citizens, and now I will have to expand my colony in order to increase my population. And how is Adeline doing this morning? Wait, she's not working? And like Kyler, she's complaining that there is no god. But that's not a big deal. I'll fix that today, and I'm glad to see that she has harvested some resources. And finally, how is Naomi doing? Is she still alive? Yes, and she's going deeper and deeper. She'll have to think about lighting around her, and she has already gotten some resources, including iron. I'm happy because I have all the basic resources that are being produced. And while talking with Kyler, he actually offered me a quest in which I have to build a god tower. And from what he tells me, to craft the associated block I need a bow. So here are a bow and some planks, and I will take the opportunity to build the housing block as well. This is what the house looks like on level 5, and I'm thinking of placing it right next to the tavern. There is a small passage here that is attached to the house, and I think placing it between the 2 buildings will be fine. I can see that the buildings are close one to another because the building site is basically on the roof of the tavern. And while Kyler terraforms, I'm gonna look at the materials needed: campfire, coarse dirt, cobblestone panel, slab and stairs. A cobblestone panel, that's new, and apparently I can get it thanks to my architect's cutter. It's been a while since I used that one. What else? A crafting table, a furnace, above all wood in forms of stairs, logs and planks. But that's not a problem since Weasley did a very good job. By the way, I thought of naming this place Miller's Square because he died building it. I think it is a good idea since a square should have a name. And what have you done, Weasley? What's that? A floating tray? You'd better clean that up. And I have all the necessary resources except the cobblestone panels, so I have to start by choosing a panel, then place a cobblestone, and there I have it, a cobblestone panel, and there you have it, Kyler, all the required resources. And while he builds the house, I'm gonna go exploring a bit. Actually, I found a camp on the map on the north of the city, and I wonder what it is. And I would really like to find saddles so I can ride horses. For that, there are 2 solutions: either I get get lucky by opening chests, or I'll have to go to the nether. That promises to be interesting in any case. Looks like a new child has just been born, and I am curious to know who the parents are. I can't wait to get back to the city to see that. And so I discreetly approach the camp, and I can see red banners with black skulls. I think I'm not welcome, but it doesn't seem very crowded to me. Well, barbarians have just appeared. They got armors and everything, but there are a lot of them. But fortunately, they're not very strong. Yes, follow me into the cave. Oh, and there's some loot. Oh, and there's one shooting at me right now. Did I kill them all, or are some of them left? Oh no, there's some new ones who appeared, and that's the boss. And you're done. Some other barbarians just appeared, and there is a new chief barbarian. So I think I'm gonna have to get the loot quickly. Wow, there is a lot of stuff, including ornaments that I will grab. Actually, the spawners are inside the tents here, and as there are 4 tents, I think 4 barbarians appear each time. Oh no, it's a real invasion, and I would still like to get the loot quickly, but I have a real army in front of me. Okay, I've got pretty much everything I wanted. I will just swim back to both of them, and it looks like I lost them. Good. Oh, and the house is waiting for me when I get back. Is it me, or is the new baby Ainsley? She grew up very fast. She became an adult in 10 minutes. Maybe she was born like that. Who knows? So tell me, who are your parents? Oh well, we don't know. Well, I'll do my little investigation later. So let's see what this house looks like. First of all, there's some real work here in terms of decoration. I like it. If I get inside, I have a spacious ground floor with a nice fireplace, a nice table and all the necessary equipment, and upstairs there is a bed. Looks like a house for one person. Oh, and there is a second door here which leads to the future passage. And if I click on the residence block, I see that it is indeed Ainsley who lives here, and I have no further information for the moment. And for memory, it was Weasley who wanted me to build a house. And I just spoke to Weasley, and he didn't want me to build one house. Actually, he wanted me to build 4. Wait, I wasn't ready for that. It means I currently have 3 houses missing, but where am I going to put them? It's quite a lot of work to build all these buildings at once, and I think a good idea is to hire a second builder. And that's good since I have an unemployed citizens here who is just waiting to work. But wait, I heard some noises I don't like at all. Oh yes indeed. Why are they attacking me? And they're back again. Well, one of them just died in front of me, and I will do the same with the others. Okay, you there, don't move. Perfect, there you go. And I'm proud that today nobody died during the raid. And where was I? Yes, I had to build another builder's hut and 3 houses, which makes 4 buildings. Well, I'm going to need a lot of wood. And why did Weasley strip all my wood? I hope you will stop doing that, because I don't need that much stripped wood. Oh, and there is a new merchant, and the more I look at him, the more I think he has a very nice lead. Well, close your eyes, it won't take long, and that's it. I now have a very nice lead, and I did well visiting Naomi, who just stopped working for a bit. She needs resources to build galleries within the mine, and here are all the resources you need. Building for buildings means thinking of how to organize my city. It is gonna make a big change. And by the way, I don't even have a helmet. My armor is just falling apart. I fought a lot today. Oh no, it's raining, they're not working. I just sat down for a bit and was thinking of the layout. And first of all, I want to close Miller's Square by surrounding it with buildings. The left side is already closed off by the town hall, and the south the tavern and a house. On the north, I only have a builder's hut, so I'm gonna add another house. And I'm thinking of placing it here next to the builder's hut, and I don't want any residual space here. And all is left is to create a limit on the east side. I really liked the idea of having the entrance of the city right here, which could create a street that would go straight up there, so that the travelers would arrive directly in Miller's Square. That being said, I'm gonna build a new house with a different orientation, and just below it another builder's hut. I will build the variation of the hut which has a square on the back so that we can look at the lake. And what is great is that the building is an angle, which is great to close the square and create a path that could go down to the lake. And the third house fits perfectly with the builder's hut. And I'm thinking of placing the fourth house on the back of the first house. And that for two reasons. First, the landscape here is higher than Miner Square, which will allow me to build buildings higher, which will make the city very nice looking. And the idea is to have two rows of buildings. And the second one would be oriented towards the resources buildings. And below would be a street, and next to the street a large wall to close off the city on the south. The wall would end up here roughly and would leave some space to walk outside of the city. So I think I will place it here behind the existing house, and I can then add a street that can climb up to the house and not be too stiff. And what is nice is that it creates some space here to add buildings. So everything is ready and now it is time to build. I checked and I have all the resources, so now let's start a huge time lapse because there's a lot of work to do. It will transform the city. Kyler, come here. When the construction of the two houses was finished, the time-lapse was completely interrupted by the arrival of pirates. They arrived from the north by boat. I see one on the center there and another one further west. If they had arrived a little later, I would have had guards to protect the city, so I will have to manage the situation myself. Here you go, I got him. And more are coming. I think I'm gonna have to destroy the ship to stop the invasion. I think they're appearing next to the ship. Leave my citizens in peace. And here I am on board. There's a lever and if I press it, well, I don't know what it does. And there is a chest here full of treasures. Well, it's not so good, but I understand because the pirates were weak. And I think I managed to defend Bodom against the pirates. And I think the ship should stay a few more days. But what is nice is that the invasion is over as well as the two houses. Honestly, it's already a very nice place with a lot of buildings around it. I'm not gonna visit the new houses, and this builder's hut variant is bright new. I like the door in the corner here, which opens into a large room with a chest and, well, the famous builder's hut block. Here there is a kind of warehouse and another one with barrels. It's perfect. Go to bed, everyone. And a new child has just been born. Oh, he's so cute. It's Aiden and he wants a cookie. Looks like he's sleeping. Well, he's woken up. Welcome to the colony. And it's time for me to talk to Ainsley again, who wants me to build guard towers. Not only am I going to build 2 guard towers, but I will also take the opportunity to build walls. and let me show you the main gate of the city. It's already quite impressive even though it's level 1. The idea is that I built here the 2 guard towers I was asked to build, and in between I decided to build a wall gate. I don't know whether the guard towers were designed to be placed within a wall, so I made some tests and it should work at higher levels. The idea is to have a gate like this at level 5 with towers on both sides that look like this. It is exactly the main entrance I wanted to get. And here on the left I have some newcomers once again, and right there is one of my first soldiers who is asking me for a sword. I will craft several at once and it looks like he's gonna use them. That's perfect, and honestly Aiden did extremely well. He has 62 health points, and what is great is that he could have handled the 4 pillagers without my help. Honestly, it is great to have 2 soldiers here who would be able to defend the city. Unfortunately, there was another attack during the time-lapse, and Adeline didn't survive, so Dyer replaces her, and if I'm not mistaken, the gods live within their towers, so they don't need space within the houses, which means I have 2 more citizens. Of course I will have to expand the walls on the left and the right, but I don't have enough resources for now. I'd like to start this day by finishing Mailer Square. The idea is to extend the pattern I made on the ground here. The pattern is made of coarse dirt and path, and it reaches the houses on this side. And I will take the opportunity to remove all the grass, and that's it for the path and the street here that leads to the door. Now I need more coarse dirt, and for that some gravel. I found a cave on the south of Bovidum, and I think there's gravel and iron inside. I still use a lot of coarse dirt for the path and floors of the houses, and a vein of 8 iron won't hurt. I will also take the coal, I don't have that much left. Great, another vein of iron, and that's it for this little mining strip. I don't need any more for the moment, and all is left is to replace the grass blocks with coarse dirt, and I hope I will have enough blocks. In the end, 1 stack was enough. So I have to complete my defense quest, and Margot is in her house. She thanks me on the behalf of the entire colony for building the guard towers and offers me a block of iron. I will take the iron. You can see that it's raining outside because the tavern is packed. And Naomi offers me a quest in which I have to build a restaurant for the colony. The idea is that thanks to the restaurant, the inhabitants will be able to feed themselves, and I won't have to feed them manually anymore. Speaking of numbers, I don't even know how many inhabitants I have. So let's see, my colony has 10 inhabitants without including me, 2 builders, a farmer and forester, 2 soldiers, a miner, and 3 unemployed people. And by the way, on the right are all the statistics of my colony, so let's give work to the 3 unemployed people. I have some space here to the right of the entrance, but I think there's a much more interesting building that could be built instead of a restaurant, and the other issue is that the restaurant is actually huge, at least in this version, because there's another one with a more reasonable size. I hesitated a lot between the 2 versions, and I found the first one is too big compared to my other buildings. In addition to that, the second one has a nice roof. My idea was to add another house here to create a group of 4 buildings, and I'm thinking of placing the restaurant here on the left next to the tavern so that it is close to the town hall as well. It could be placed up there, and I'm thinking of extending the wall a little bit to do it properly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's it. I've placed 6 straight wall segments. At least I can see the position of the walls here. However, it will require a lot of materials. Oh no, I'm being attacked! But now I have soldiers defending the colony. Before dealing with the barbarians, I will finish placing the restaurant, and I think this place is good. And what was I saying? They took care of the barbarians, and it looks great. Overall, the resources are the same, except that this time I will have with extra shingles and roof with different shapes. If Dyer has done a good job, I should already have all the widths. Not bad, and I will have to craft some hay bales, and I'll need a couple of wood, roofing materials with some oak planks, support, Perfect. And let's now do the same thing but for corner roofs this time. Oh, and there is a problem. What is going on? Oh, and Dyer is sick. She asks me to either build a hospital to treat her or to give her a carrot and a potato to cure. I'm going for the potato plus carrot version because I don't have a hospital yet. Oh, and she's healing. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go and inspect Naomi's work. She's collecting the cobblestone for me and I'm really starting to need a lot of it. 3 stacks won't be enough to build the walls. And what about the mine? It's getting deeper and deeper. I can see that she made good use of all the materials I gave her. She's currently digging at this level, and apparently there's no plans to develop it further for the moment. The first gallery has just appeared, and I see these little signs indicating which level I'm at. And I will also have to assign her a god to protect her against the dangers. And Zane just told me that he's sick too. I hope the epidemic doesn't spread. And for the restaurant, I have all the resources I need, and still I will probably have to rearrange the buildings by importance. Indeed, in the town hall I have 6 segments of walls waiting to be built, so I put the restaurant back in first position. If Kyler wants to build it, at least because it doesn't look good either. I gave him carrots and potatoes and he seems to be doing better. And now he's hoped to build the restaurant. Perfect. As a reward for it, you will have a very good meal to eat. And what a magnificent restaurant. And I see there's already someone inside, who is none other than Zane, the new cook. Let's take a quick tour of the owner. Here there is a really nice kitchen with the restaurant block, and there a large oven, and opposite to the kitchen there are tables, and I have a feeling they won't remain empty for long. And Zane asks me to add dishes to the menu. Well, let's look at the restaurant interface. Here I have a list of the available fuels, including coal, and there I have the list of dishes that can be cooked. And what just happened? Ansley died while building the wall. Oh my god, what the hell is this mess? She dug so deep for the foundation that she ended up in the middle of the cavern I filled in, and I think she got blown up by a creeper. Oh, that's so sad. I'm gonna fill it quickly before there's another accident. There you go, I think the new builder will be safe, and I see that I already have my miner and my lumberjack who are starving. I was planning on giving them cooked potatoes and bread, but it seems like really poor quality food. The dishes in orange here are from the MineColonies mod, and it seems they make the citizens way much happier. For now, I made a menu made of carrots and apples. The issue is that regular food not coming from MineColonies mode is 4 times less nutritious. So I will look for a dish that can be easily cooked. What seems very good is cow's milk. From it I can make some bottles of milk, and then I can use the bottles to craft yogurt. And even better, honestly it looks like pretty good food to me. There are a lot of cows around Bovidom, which will allow me to make a stock even before having a cow breeder. However, for the bottles I will need glass and therefore sand, and I don't have any. That's not too much of a problem. There is a lot of sand available southwest of the city. I'm gonna get some there, and I now have 3 stacks of sand, which should be more than enough. And to craft the bottles I need a lot of glass and a little bit of wood. 5 times 4 makes 20. And can I fill them directly from the cows? Yes, it works. I love it. It is so satisfying. I won't even need a breeder. And here I am with large bottles of milk, and with just 1 bottle of milk I can make a yogurt. I think it is by far the most cost effective. I used up all my my bottles to make yogurt, and I got back my bottles after crafting the yogurt. Does it mean I can do it over and over again? And I hope my citizens like these products. I've completely changed the menu and they will get cheese and yogurt. Oh, and look who is in the kitchen. You must be hungry. I've given my builders time to finish up the walls and it's starting to look great. The line between the inside and the outside of the city is much clearer and the wall isn't finished yet. And I will have to extend it on the right here until I reach the lake. And I'm getting attacked while talking about the walls. Not so bad actually. Oh no, my wall is located on the south, it's useless. I think I will build the wall on the other side once I have an idea of the size of my city. I spot the barbarian camp there, looks like there are 3, and I'm asking my 2 soldiers to follow me to defend the colony and attack the barbarians. But they have time to sneak up to Miner Square, already 2 dead, and the 3rd shouldn't last long. Great guys, well done, we got the little victory sound. It was really quick, and I'm gonna ask them to patrol again. And now I see a new quest that appeared in my journal, and it's offered by Kyler. The name is Bob and Wendy, a very curious name. And where is Kyler? Looks like he's in his room. He congratulates me for everything I've built so far, and asks me to upgrade my builder's huts to level 2, so that I can upgrade all my other buildings. It sounds very tempting. I wanna know what my buildings will look like, but before there is a building I absolutely have to build. The block is crafted with a chest, and it's a storage warehouse. In the warehouse I will be able to store a lot of resources, and to move the resources I will need some couriers. Don't think I'm gonna move everything by myself. On the contrary, the couriers will be able to directly find the resources among my various buildings, and on the other end they will be able to find the resources among the warehouse and bring them to my builders. And the warehouse at level 1 allows for 2 couriers, so let's build 2 houses. To me, the warehouse should have a strategic location next to the buildings over there that produce resources and all the citizens inside the city that will use the resources. Which is why I think the location here next to the gate is a perfect location. And this is what the warehouse looks like, and I'm glad I have space because this building is huge. And looking at the shape of the building, I like the idea of placing it here because it will create a small square here at the entrance as well as 2 streets. And look at the size of this warehouse construction site. It's huge. As for the resources, there is no problem. All I need is wood and I have that. On the other end, I will need a lot of dirt to level the ground, and all I have left to do is to place the 2 delivery huts next to the warehouse. Let's put one here in the space that is left and the other one next to the existing house. The delivery house has 2 variations, and I'm gonna build the first one in front of the restaurant. The second one is L-shaped, and I think I will build it next to the existing house, which will make a street that goes there to the east. And to build these huts, all I need again is wood. That's good news because I'm a little bit short of stone at the moment. I think you're starting to know the drill, and it is high time to start a new time lapse. And I will maybe redo some walls, I don't know yet, but in any case, enjoy the time lapse.
Under the trees, I found a box of black pearls. I couldn't believe that it could change our known world. Under the stars, one night I opened it up, and your voice
And what a time lapse. The city is starting to look imposing. As you enter, you can see on the right the warehouse that has been built. If I go inside, there are a lot of racks, and there are delivery people going back and forth inside, delivering the resources. And the resources are sorted between the different racks. There are already quite a few resources inside. And while I'm visiting, I'm curious to see the two new houses of Bobidom. The first one is here with a fairly brief ground floor and an upper floor that I can't access. And if I now go to see the second hut, it is made up of two buildings, one of which is large and has a chest in particular, and it's when I have this view here that I'm happy to play with the elevation gain. Honestly, it gives an impression of density and it's very pretty to me. Oh, and looks like someone has a new quest for me. It tells me about an item that could be very useful to me. I'm curious to know what it's for, and to be able to use it I have to connect it to the 10 hall, and that's done. So from what I understand, the clipboard shows all the requests from my citizens. For example, I can see that my gods would like to have some armors, and that Naomi in the mine needs some more resources to craft a gallery. And with these delivery guys, my life will be easier. And I also took the opportunity to add some walls here on the right of the door. My idea will probably be to extend it to the lake, and I wonder whether the barbarians can actually swim, because in that case it would be less protective. And for the future, I think I will extend Bobidom up there on the hill. And as I speak to you, I am on my 125th day. It goes quickly because I sleep every night, and I'm very happy with what Bobidom looks like today. My citizens can now produce resources and move them by themselves, and a large part of the basic buildings are already built. And I can't wait to do the next quest, in which I will have to upgrade all my buildings to level 2. I'm very proud of the progress made so far, and I thank you for all your comments. If you're new, please subscribe so that you don't miss the rest of the adventure. And I'll see you in the next episode.